In the early morning of October 6, 2025, a fire broke out at the Kyoto Hachijo Hotel, located directly across from the JR Kyoto Station in Japan. The fire started in a guest room on the second floor, causing a dramatic scene with flames visible from the outside. Nearly 2,000 guests staying at the hotel were urgently evacuated. Fortunately, the fire was quickly brought under control, and no injuries were reported. According to the Kyoto Fire Department, 2 women in their 30s visiting from China were staying in the room when the fire started. They had been resting when they noticed an unusual smell and immediately called the authorities. Hotel staff swiftly sounded the alarm and organized the evacuation. Within minutes, the sound of alarms echoed through the hallways as guests, dressed in pajamas and carrying their luggage, fled to the outdoors. The entrance and lobby were packed with panicked crowds. The hotel, a landmark across from JR Kyoto Station, is a popular accommodation for foreign tourists and travel groups. At the time of the incident, the hotel had about 2,000 guests. One 60-year-old guest from Australia shared, "I was sleeping when I heard the announcement. Fire on the second floor. I didn't even have time to grab my passport, just thinking about escaping as quickly as possible." The fire quickly became a topic of attention on social media, with keywords like Kyoto Hotel Fire and Chinese tourists trending. Initial investigations suggest that the fire may have been caused by a self-igniting power bank. Authorities speculate that the fire originated from overheating or a battery malfunction. However, it is still unknown which Chinese brand the power bank was. On October 4th, a similar incident occurred on the Osaka Metro Midosuji line. A power bank in a woman's purse caught fire, causing minor burns to her and a 60-year-old female passenger sitting next to her. Both were sent to the hospital. On September 25th, a fire was also triggered by a power bank in an apartment building in Suginami Ward, Tokyo. The Yomiuri Shimbun reported that a large number of uncertified Chinese-made power banks, which are sold online without the PSC certification, are believed to be the main culprits of these frequent self-ignition incidents. The PSC certification is Japan's mandatory safety standard to ensure that electronic products have passed local laws or international IEC standards. In contrast, the CE certification is the mandatory safety mark for the European Union. Both PSC and CE certifications are internationally recognized. China Compulsory Certification is a mandatory certification for the domestic Chinese market and is not internationally recognized. Even for products certified under CCC in China, there's no guarantee of quality. Experts warn that many travelers carry power banks, power strips, and other electronic devices when abroad, which poses a hazard. On August 22nd, a Facebook user posted that a Xiaomi 20,000 mAh power bank with a built-in cable and a 33-watt charging capacity exploded. There have already been 7 reported cases. Warnings have been issued to passengers, especially those who are flying. On August 28th, a social media user shared that a power bank caught fire in the cabin of a Xiamen Airlines flight before takeoff. The smoke was particularly pungent. The photo posted by the user showed multiple passengers standing and looking around the cabin, with white smoke visible in the air. A comment under the post stated that the flight was delayed for 2 hours. Another user replied, "I was so scared I just refunded my ticket." Later that afternoon, Xiamen Airlines confirmed the incident to the media, stating that the fire caused the flight delay. However, many domestic media outlets did not mention the brand of the power bank involved. On October 9th, a similar incident occurred on a Japan Airlines flight. Shortly after takeoff, white smoke appeared in the cabin, suspected to be caused by a power bank. Fortunately, the fire was quickly controlled, and the flight carried on as planned. According to Asahi Shimbun and Japan TV reports, there were 339 passengers on board. The Japanese Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport, and Tourism issued a notice requiring 23 major domestic airlines to strengthen inspections. The ministry also highlighted that similar incidents have occurred frequently, both in Japan and abroad. Earlier, on August 7th, a KLM flight experienced a power bank fire while flying over the Atlantic. In March, a Hong Kong Airlines flight had to make an emergency landing at a Fuzhou airport after a fire. Although some of these incidents did not mention the brands involved, many netizens believe that Chinese-made power banks are likely to be the cause. Chinese-made power banks account for about 90% to 95% of the global market. Major global brands like Xiaomi, Anker, Bossius, Romos, ZMI, and Peason are mostly manufactured in China. Other regions, such as Vietnam and India, have some assembly plants for Chinese brands in order to address tariffs and supply chain diversification, but the core components still mainly come from China. Countries like South Korea and Japan mainly produce high-end or special models, such as Samsung and Panasonic, in limited quantities. In Europe and the United States, power banks are mostly exclusively OEM or ODM products from China. One netizen pointed out that over 9 out of every 10 power banks in the world are made in China. So when power bank fires happen and the brand is not specified, it's likely that the power bank is from China. On September 23rd, a netizen revealed that there were quality issues with a power bank sponsored by the Agricultural Bank of China's Qingyue branch for the local education bureau in Wenzhou, Zhejiang province. Just 10 days after Teachers' Day on September 10th, a power bank exploded and caught fire. The brand was not specified in the post. Power bank fires are becoming a frequent problem in China, with Xiaomi becoming one of the most affected brands. On October 6, a blogger shared a video saying that a Xiaomi power bank exploded without warning. She said, "I can't even imagine if this happened on the night of the Mid-Autumn Festival while we were working overtime." In the video, the blogger described the incident. "We were working late in the office around 10 p.m., and the power bank was just sitting on the desk, not charging or being used. Suddenly, it exploded. Flames spread across the entire desk. Fortunately, we were quick enough to kick it to the floor, or the consequences would have been disastrous. If it had happened when no one was around, or if it had been placed in a bedroom or carried with us, we wouldn't have had time to react. I'm still shaken by it." The blogger mentioned that the power bank was purchased from Xiaomi's official JD.com store and had barely been used over the course of a year. On August 29th, Xiaomi announced that it would voluntarily recall over 140,000 power banks due to frequent fire incidents. According to the Beijing Municipal Administration for Market Regulation, Xiaomi recalled certain models manufactured between August 1st and September 2nd, 2024. Xiaomi stated that due to issues with the raw materials, a small number of products may overheat during use, posing a potential fire risk in extreme scenarios. The company offered a refund amount of 159 RMB. Romos, another well-known Chinese power bank, has been facing serious operational difficulties since July 2025. The company issued a notice about halting production and operations for 6 months, but still had some core staff handling after-sales service. Reports have suggested that the company's top management has gone missing, and assets have been moved. Romos's official stores on major e-commerce platforms have been shut down, and most of its mobile power bank products have had their CCC certification suspended. Romos power banks have frequently been involved in self-ignition incidents, leading to burns. On September 28th, a university student in China reported a fire caused by a Romos power bank, leading to a devastating fire in his home. The student had been charging the power bank and napping when he was suddenly awoken by sparks and the pungent smell of smoke. Despite his efforts to extinguish the fire, it quickly engulfed the room. The student shared his story online.
事情的起因是罗马式充电宝自燃，导致我们家失火。
The incident started when the power bank self-ignited and caused a fire in my home. Our house has been completely burned down. I'm sharing this to warn others. Please, all netizens, offer advice on how I can protect my rights and sue Romos. I hope my experience serves as a lesson to everyone. Romos power banks are really dangerous. This fire has caused devastating losses for my family, but thankfully, we managed to escape.
The blogger said, "This is how my home was burned down. All my parents' hard-earned life savings were in this house, and now it's destroyed by this fire." The blogger mentioned that he is now awaiting the official inspection results and hopes that Romos will respond. If there is any outcome, he will take legal action, demanding an apology from Romos and compensation for the damages. Who would have thought that such a small power bank could have such power? It burned down my 230 square meter house. On August 29th, a similar fire occurred in Zhumadian, Henan, where a power bank caused significant damage to a house. A homeowner shared a video showing the aftermath of the fire, noting that the small device nearly destroyed their entire home, with losses estimated at over 560,000 RMB. The fire began after the homeowner's 14-year-old son charged the power bank in his room. 6 hours later, the device caught fire, and the homeowner was awakened by the smell of burning. By the time they realized what had happened, smoke had already filled the house, and the fire was out of control. The brand of the power bank was not mentioned in the report. On October 2nd, a woman from Changsha shared a video about a frightening incident where a power bank she had purchased a week prior exploded unexpectedly. She expressed shock and fear, stating that the manufacturer attributed the explosion to a possible circuit issue and was negotiating compensation. She remarked,
突然爆炸，现在都还在后
I bought it just a week ago, planning to take it home for National Day, but it exploded as soon as I brought it back. I can't believe a certified 3C power bank could self-ignite. It's terrifying. I keep thinking, if I had carried it with me, I might have been seriously hurt, even killed. On the same day, another blogger shared a similar experience with a newly bought Huawei power bank. The power bank, which had been used normally, began to melt due to excessive heat. They questioned, "This is a 3C certified power bank? Huawei, did you certify this?" He expressed concern about the potential risks if this had occurred overnight or when no one was around. These incidents highlight a troubling trend in China, where power banks from various brands, including Xiaomi, Romas, and even Huawei, are reportedly catching fire or self-igniting, even when not in use.
A 3C certified power bank suddenly self-ignited in a school uniform pocket of a minor on campus.
In September of this year, a 17-year-old high school student in Wuhan experienced a terrifying incident when the power bank in his school uniform pocket suddenly self-ignited when he was walking around campus. Black smoke began to billow out of his pocket, and his uniform was burned with a large hole, and his shoes were also severely damaged. The fire was quickly extinguished with the help of campus security. Fortunately, nobody was injured. The power bank, which was purchased online for 165 RMB, had been used for just 1 month and was not charging at the time of the incident. On September 7th, a woman in Shenyang, Liaoning, faced a similar scare in the early morning. While sleeping, she suddenly heard a loud explosion and discovered that her power bank had exploded and caught fire on her bed. She immediately threw the burning device onto the floor and called the property management for help. Fortunately, staff arrived in time to extinguish the fire. On August 22nd, a woman in Beijing shared a frightening experience where an Anker power bank exploded while she was in the hospital. She described the incident. I was so scared. My whole body was shaking. I felt like I had a bomb in my bag. I had the power bank in my backpack, and it wasn't charging. Suddenly, I felt a lot of heat behind me. When I looked back, thick white smoke started coming out. People in the clinic panicked and threw my bag outside. The hallway was filled with smoke, and my bag was burned through and through. Items like cosmetics inside were destroyed. The woman later contacted the manufacturer's customer service, which admitted the issue but refused to offer compensation unless she could provide a receipt. In January 2025, a netizen posted a video about a friend whose power bank spontaneously ignited when it was in his pants pocket. The fire burned through his pants, and the fire rescue personnel arrived just in time to extinguish the flames. The man suffered third-degree burns on his thigh. Battery banks primarily consist of 3 parts: the battery cell, circuit board, and outer casing. If the battery cells or circuit boards are substandard, they can easily cause self-ignition or explosion. Charging a power bank in environments that hinder heat dissipation, such as under blankets or in a box, or placing it in high-temperature areas can also trigger a fire. Experts believe that the quality of the product is ultimately the most important factor, which raises the question, why do more incidents occur with Chinese brands? The Chinese power bank industry is currently facing an unprecedented safety crisis. In addition to Xiaomi's recall announcements on August 29th, power bank industry leaders Anker and Romas have also issued large-scale recall announcements since mid-June. Together, they involve more than 2 million products, both domestically and internationally. These recalls were all due to battery cell quality issues that pose fire risks. It's not just power banks. Smartphones are also at risk of self-igniting or exploding. On September 7th, a terrifying incident occurred in Xuzhou, Jiangsu, when a 3-year-old boy who was watching videos on a Xiaomi phone experienced a phone explosion and fire. The footage was shocking. The video shows 3 adults chatting in the living room while the boy is sitting on the couch, watching videos and jumping around. Suddenly, the phone emitted a flash accompanied by a loud explosion. The boy was terrified and started crying. One of the men said the child was just playing with it when it suddenly exploded. The phone involved was a Xiaomi 13 model, which had been purchased more than a year ago and had not been repaired or modified. According to a comment from the poster, the child suffered burns on his left hand and lower body, with some skin blackened and some blisters bursting. On the morning of September 8th, Xiaomi's customer service responded, stating that the cause of the self-ignition needed to be determined through professional testing, and they could not provide an immediate conclusion. Another employee mentioned that phone self-ignition is a rare event, with causes that are complex and could involve multiple factors. Some netizens have pointed out that the Xiaomi 13 was released on December 11, 2022, and hasn't been on the market for 3 years yet. One netizen commented, "My Xiaomi phone gets so hot when playing games or watching videos." Another added, "Self-ignition of phones is a rare event, but when it happens and there is no clear explanation, the consequences can be huge. A rare event? Who would want to gamble on that 1 in 10,000? Huawei, another well-known brand, is also facing similar issues. On October 8th, a user on RedNote posted that their Huawei phone allegedly self-ignited for no apparent reason. The post was quickly removed by the platform. Although no official response had been issued yet, this incident has sparked a discussion among users. On October 9th, a phone repair blogger reported that a Huawei phone had caught fire due to a battery explosion and is now unable to power on. These incidents highlight serious concerns over the safety of Chinese-made devices, including both power banks and smartphones, as self-ignition and explosions continue to occur without clear explanations from the manufacturers.
华为的 logo 都烧得快看不见了。
The Huawei logo is almost completely burned off. What do you think? How serious is the malfunction of this phone? Is it even possible to fix it?
On October 9th, a netizen posted a video showing that an Oppo phone, which was used for less than a year, spontaneously caught fire. The video showed a construction worker at his job site. The phone was placed on the ground when it started emitting smoke and ignited. A phone repair blogger commented, saying that smartphones are like ticking time bombs. He warned that battery swelling should be addressed immediately, as ignoring it could lead to explosions. In addition to power banks and smartphones, other small electronic products using lithium batteries, such as electric bikes and electric vehicles, pose even greater risks when they self-ignite. On October 9th, another netizen posted a video showing a terrifying incident where an electric bicycle battery, which had been charged next to a TV at home, exploded. The explosion shocked the family. The user reminded everyone not to charge these devices indoors. A blogger also shared a video about an electric bike fire in Jinan. It was his first time witnessing a lithium battery catch fire. He described the experience as terrifying. Although the fire was initially extinguished, it suddenly reignited and started to explode, sending flames everywhere. The bus driver passing by used an entire fire extinguisher to no avail. The blogger expressed concerns for other vehicles using similar batteries, especially electric cars. Industry insiders point out that the intense competition within the Chinese manufacturing industry has led to safety issues being overlooked, with price competition as a deeper cause of these incidents. Chinese issues expert Yue Shan commented that under CCP rule, the lack of moral faith and a rush to achieve quick success have contributed to the poor quality of many Chinese-made products. Although these products are cheap, they often come with significant safety risks.